Lucid Motors is up almost 6% on the day. Obviously, a very strong move. We also have some very bullish news to go over. As well as that, more importantly, we are going to be going over the fact that traders are betting that Lucid Motors is going to go much higher in the next coming weeks. We're going to take a look at the short interest, the option activity, as well as the news. And at the end of this video, after we get through all of the data and information, we're going to go over my very large Lucid Motors position as well. So hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel, consider sharing this video with somebody else that needs to see this information. As well as that, there is links in the description if you guys want to support the channel. Links for Public, link for Webull, link for Moomoo. Sign up with Moomoo right now, get one free share just for opening your brokerage account. Once you deposit $100, you will get a totally free share of Lucid Motors, so don't miss out on that while that is available. Now, let's talk about Lucid Motors. What is happening today? We are up 5.4% at the time of recording this video. And if we draw a trend line, unfortunately, my chart just magically erased itself. We can see we have a very strong trend line that is happening. A lot of people are betting that Lucid Motors is going to go a lot higher. We also see that in the data that we are going to be going over. Now, more importantly than that, the overall business of Lucid Motors has been performing exceptionally well, much better than I even had anticipated. And even on a technical basis, we're looking for that breakout that is going to be coming. And I could actually move this trend line up just a little bit more with the solid candlesticks. And you guys can see we're bouncing straight off of this, heading back up to our $55 resistance level. It's very possible by the time you guys see this video in the after hours market that Lucid Motors could break above $55 per share. And that's ultimately what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to make that move past 55, head back up to our highest level ever when Lucid Motors was obviously trading as CCIV to about $65 per share. That is where you will see another level of resistance, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark that right now because that is obvious to see. The $65 level is probably coming here in the near term future. Now, we're going to get into a little bit of the actual news that is going on with the company. So first and foremost, if you just do a simple Google search, Lucid Motors news, you come up bullish article after bullish article around Lucid Motors. So a lot of people, when they do try to do due diligence on Lucid Motors, they see very positive things. So you are seeing people just overwhelmingly positive about Lucid Motors, which there is good reason to be, and that is ultimately helping to fuel this rally that we are seeing. But more concrete news that we are getting is this article right here. This was from November 16th, so it is a little bit dated, but this has continued to fuel this rally, as well as some other small things. It says Lucid Motors CEO says the EV startup is targeting expansion in China, Middle East by mid-decade. The key points: Lucid Motors has plans to build factories outside the US. Mid-decade, we plan to have plants in the Middle East and China as well. The comments today came as EV startups market cap surpassed that of Ford Motors. It says, Lucid Motors CEO Peter Rawlinson told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Tuesday that the startup has plans to build factories outside the U.S. The California-based electric vehicle maker's flagship factory is in Casa Grande, Arizona, where the company started commercial production in September. Initial deliveries of the Dream Edition of Lucid Air sedan began last month, an important milestone for the company in the increasingly competitive EV market. Now, this is a great sign that they are planning to expand everywhere. That's what a lot of people wanted to see, and that's exactly what happened. Now, he says right here a little bit more. These couple paragraphs are very insightful. So it says Lucid expects to make 20,000 of its Air sedans next year, a target the company first laid out in July and affirmed Monday. However, Rawlinson told Cramer the Arizona facility in its current form is capable of producing around 34,000 vehicles each year with expansion down the road. We're quadrupling the size of the factory in Arizona. We're building out a 2.85 million square foot expansion to get ready to build 90,000 units per annum. And the site itself is with its phase 3 capable of nearly 400,000 units per annum, he said before mentioning the international production plans. So already right there, by the time this is fully built, 400,000 units per year. That is incredible. That is great numbers. Now, Rawlinson said Lucid has over 17,000 reservations for the Air. They're refundable deposits, but this has grown over 30% just in the last 6 weeks since the end of Q3. Rawlinson said adding the company absolutely saw additional reservations each day, especially after the Lucid Air on Monday was named Motor Trend's Car of the Year. This is when most people have never actually sat or driven in one. Many people have never even heard of us yet. And that is the main reason why I'm so bullish on Lucid Motors, is that if you ask people, do you know what Lucid Motors is? What is Lucid Motors? People, a majority of people, if you walk down your town, probably a couple people would know Lucid Motors. If they do, they're probably investors, or they probably read about it in Motor Trend. Now, once the vehicle gets out in the public more, once people do actually see the vehicle and like the vehicle, I heard it looks a lot better even in person than it does in videos or pictures. That's when you're going to start to see the pre-orders rolling in, and that's where you're going to even get a higher valuation baked into the company. But what this ultimately comes down to, and why Lucid Motors valuation is somewhat justified, I'm not going to say it's, a cheap stock by any means at the current moment, is because you have seen a lot of EV startups come and go, right? A lot of scandals, a lot of bad things, but Lucid Motors has been performing exactly how they have set out their previous guidance to be. They said that they're gonna start production in October. That's exactly what happened. Or start deliveries by late October. That's exactly what happened. They did say back in July, 20,000 vehicles next year. That's exactly what they're saying again this year. You're seeing reservations grow. You're seeing all of these bullish things, and the fact that they're actually delivering on their promises and actually delivering vehicles is a huge win for investors. If you want to get the next Tesla, what are your options at this moment? You can go with Rivian, that isn't delivering vehicles, that who knows what's going to come up in their production, problems that could come up. Lucid Motors is the next best runner up, unless you're talking about legacy automakers like Ford or GM, but they're not going to be valued as high as a startup EV company. So that is really why Lucid Motors valuation right now can somewhat be justified, and that's why the stock has held up so well and continued to rally. Even on bad days in the markets, Lucid Motors does not seem to fall too much. So let's move on now to the short interest, and the short interest is 8.51% of the free float. And we do have shorted shares of 48.57 million. That is a decently high. It's not categorized as a high short interest until you do get up to about 10%, but still that could definitely have an impact to the buying pressure that will have to happen as the stock goes up. Shorts are forced out of their positions, and ultimately more buying will come. Share utilization is 56.36%. If you guys are unaware of what this is basically out of 100%. If the share utilization was at 100%, that means there is no available shares to be lent out to eventually be sold short. We are at 56.36%. So that means about half of the available shares that are able to be lent out have already been lent out. So that is a decent amount. The free float out on loan is 8.44%. So it doesn't seem like they're holding on to these shares out on loan too long. They are just shorting them into the open markets. And certainly even after this whole rally, shorts have not covered in a mass scale. Only about a drop of 2.1% in the short interest throughout this whole entire rally. So we do have a lot of shorts that still need to cover on their short positions, which is incredible at this current moment. Even after this rally, it's kind of crazy to be short on Lucid Motors right now. But let's go over the option activity, because this is where people are actually betting that the stock is going to go much higher. So for December 17th, 2021, for the $55 strike, you're looking at $7,700 for open interest. At the $60 strike, $12,500. At the $65, $10,000, almost $11,000. At the $70 strike, about $6,000, and then it does die off after that. That is a considerable amount of open interest. But on every single option chain, you are seeing a lot of activity overall, like expiring this Friday. You're seeing thousands for open interest that is just out of the money, not even including the $3 move that we've seen today and all of these options that did already run into the money with incredible volume. 48,000 for volume at the $55 strike expiring this Friday. People are betting Lucid Motors is going to go a lot higher, and this gamma squeeze that we are currently seeing is likely to continue for quite a while. Now, that's basically what you guys need to know. I'm not saying to buy or to sell or to do whatever you guys want. Take in the due diligence and do what you guys want to do with it. I certainly think right now is not a bad time to actually play the breakout above $55 in my personal opinion. And that is likely what is going to happen next. And where is the volume at for the day? The volume is currently only at 11.5 million. So you're seeing this big move off of low volume. This is telling you guys that people are not trading this stock as much, as you are just seeing a lot of buyers coming in and a lot of holders of the shares have already been holding the stock. So that is a good sign with low volume and seeing a 6.3% move to the upside. Now just broke $55 per share. I think I might make a trade on this by the end of the day as well. But it doesn't matter if you're seeing this, tomorrow or whenever you guys are seeing this, this information is still applicable to what is going on. Now, as far as my actual position, you guys can see market value of $16,517, up $1,000 today. In total return of $10,067, up 156.53%. Average cost $21.46 per share, and I have 300 shares. Portfolio diversity of 34.15%. Now, I do have some trades that are going against me. I had some other ones that were going against me, and I had to roll them over into these ones. So I do have May 20th, 2022 $50 calls. And I did sell these for $1,620 a piece. So I collected $4,800. Worst case scenario, I make over a 135% gain on the shares, and I will keep almost $5,000 for doing this. So my real break-even price is $66 per share until I actually do lose money. Now, I don't want to hold on to these the whole time. I think Lucid Motors will likely be above $50 per share by May 20th, 2022. So I'm hoping we go through a major downturn sometime in the next, 6.5 months, and then I can get out of these contracts as theta will make them worth less. Hopefully by the time this happens, probably in January or February or even March, that would be even better. And then I'll ultimately get out of these covered calls that I do have sold. But overall, Lucid is a phenomenal company and a phenomenal investment in my personal opinion, and a great trade even at the current moment, and is definitely beefing up my portfolio quite a bit, going from $6,000 into $16,000, not even including the premium that I've collected for selling the covered calls. So that is the current situation. As far as what I think is going to happen, just to reiterate, I do think we will break out past 55, make this way up to about 65, and then see a lot of resistance at these all-time high levels. And obviously, we were trading as CCIV during this time, so it'll be interesting how investors do feel about the $65 level. It's not a time that I actually want to buy shares for the long term, but this is a great trade at the current moment. So hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, as well as that let me know in the comment section, what is your price target for Lucid Motors? Are you playing this breakout? Let me know that information, as well as, like I said, get that free share of Lucid Motors with the link for Moomoo, as well as the links for other free shares. You guys cannot go wrong. If you're not signed up with those, definitely check it out, and the link for the buy and sell alerts if you want to be notified every time I make a trade in real time. That is your way to do that. So that is going to be all for this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you in the next one.